Hey y'all. Just laying here watching some Netflix. Getting pretty hot, so I think I'm gonna crank the air up. Ooh. Hi, whoever joined. Don't know if you can hear me. It's 11:38, and I'm already feeling this tired. It's good and bad. Good because I've got to go to sleep earlier than what I do, but bad because, well, I really don't want to go to sleep yet. So, yeah, there's always that. Ugh, it's been one hell of a day. Gotta love work. So you're making me curious as to who you are. Who is watching? Don't be scared, say hi. I'm not gonna bite, I promise. Ugh. Oh, no way. Beanie. Guess you could say I was kind of hoping somebody would jump on to talk. But looks like they disappeared. Oh, whatever. Sorry. I just feel really tired. Should probably get up. Well, son of a bitch. Well, so far no views. Okay. Okay. Woo! Well, shit. Well, that sucks, donkey balls. Oh well. I was hoping to get some people on. For shits and giggles, but that doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Oh well. I guess we'll try this again another night. Then again, I don't have many people on here, so who knows? I'm gonna try to see if somebody wants to jump on. Hey. They went away. But I think I know who they are, and I don't care. Because they're bored with life. and they have nothing to do but creep. And I have no idea who these people are. Oh well, not my problem. 11 minutes, and I've seen 2 people jump on, one at a time. Now the question is, out of curiosity, that is, who are said people, and yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Who are said people? Who are those people? Nobody talked, so that only leaves me with the conclusion that they belong to a group of haters, and more than likely, if I check, I will probably already have at least 2 thumbs down on my video for whatever reason. Yeah. Oh, no. No thumbs down. Let's try this. For shits and giggles. Because I love shits and giggles. Now let's find the little emoji, and we'll be set. Where are you, little one? Next door, maybe? Nope. 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 No. No. Definitely not. Where is that one? It's kind of a bummer I can't find. Oh, there it is. Baha! I found it. Do 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 do. So I'm just perusing on Facebook, just cause. I guess it goes to show you how close you think you are to some people. Oh well. Real people show who they are. So I'm kind of debating on going through some boxes and setting up my area, but kind of feeling tired, so don't really know how tonight's gonna play out. Squeeze you. Still nobody. So I have no idea what this little glass thingy is. Right here, there's nothing there. I guess nobody wants to join. Oh well. Boring ass people. Nobody wants to keep me company. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just kind of forcing you to watch me do nothing as I sit here. Or in this case, lay here. While I peruse on Facebook. So I guess here's a good question from Facebook. If you found a bag containing $200 million, who would be the first person you would call? And then, I'm adding this part on. And then, what would be the first thing you would do after you call that person? And don't lie. I really want to know. If you were to find $200 million in a bag, who would be the first person you would call to tell? And then what would be the first thing you would do? I'm very curious. Let's get it on. If you were to find a bag with $200 million, who would be the first person you would call, and then what would be the first thing you would do? The money is entirely yours, legally. Let's just put it this way. The money would be legally yours. You were to find a bag with $200 million. I am... Girl, you can be here all you want. I just don't tolerate fake people. I just hope you're not one of them. I like good, honest people. And I'm just bored because I don't have to be to work till 3:15, but I'm not clocking in till 3:21. I guess you could say fake, at least in YouTube standards. Um, Pretty much just talking shit behind somebody's back and lying to their face, or in this case, lying to them when you're talking to them. But I know you should be good peeps, so Fugget says so. I'm not disclosing my location of employment. But what I can say is I don't have to be to work till after 3 tomorrow, so I'm going to be up a while. But since you told me the first thing you would do, who would be the very first person you would call after finding that bag of money? Oh, I saw alcohol. That's all I do. I saw alcohol all day and all night. It's already on Fugget's channel. She's done said place she met me was I was selling alcohol. Who is this Fannie Mae? Oh, she's from the mortgage company. Okay. So you would call your broker to pay your mortgage instead of your husband or kids? Yeah, I see your comments. I'm not on YouTube, but I can see them. Well, I'm in sales. Just not necessarily not necessarily the right environment, but I do pretty good. Although I got to the point of I don't want to really overwork anymore because there's no recognition and no respect. You wouldn't tell the kids because they take it all and you don't have a husband. I hope it's nothing to can't really find the appropriate word to say, so just so there isn't one person in the world you would call first? And thank you. Not many people think so. And that's not your fault. I've been trying to advance in the company for at least 6 months or more. They keep just leading me on, and there's no promise of a better tomorrow. And honestly, I want to hit management before I'm 30. Stupid bitches. Is what because of fighting from Corey's past? I'm confused. No, I haven't taken any business classes or management. I do think they have them online. But unfortunately, to do any kind of schooling online or in class that requires money that I don't have, and then I just don't have the time to do school full time because I can't, my mind can't function when I try to process so much at once. So trying to go to work and make sure my bills are paid and trying to go to school to learn and absorb everything, it wouldn't work. It'd be bad. I know there's some cheap online schools. Haha, everything I say sounds like Google's. Where you said that people don't agree with me about whatever. I'm still confused. I'm sorry. I'm still horribly confused. Honestly, I'm not sure about. Yeah, it'd be too much stress on my mind. I couldn't mentally handle it. But I haven't looked into any schoolings yet because honestly, I'm just not in the position. Yes, it would be a smart thing to do, but for myself, I can't handle it. I'm not saying nothing I haven't told anybody else before. I ain't said nothing personal. Yeah, no reason to make this private. I don't need pills for any mental disabilities because I don't have any. Just because I can't process so much at a certain time like that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with me. It's just my mind doesn't work like that. And Adderall would work if I actually had a problem for Adderall to fix. And I don't, thankfully. Although sometimes I can't sit still, so I gotta move something. Gotta move my leg or something. And the way I see it, the more people that give this a thumbs down, excuse me, they're just increasing my viewage. That's all they're doing. They're helping me. They're looking at my videos. And it takes account for every person that looks at my videos. So regardless if they give me a thumbs down or a thumbs up, it means nothing to me. Nah, you cool? Nah, I'm not offended. If I was, you would know. Trust and believe on that. Yeah, I gotta shake my feet or something. I gotta move something. I can't sit still for too long. When I do, I start getting antsy, and then you could tell. Oh. Okay. You left. No bueno. I guess I was boring. I'm sorry. Are you still there, Carrie? Oh, wait, maybe you came back. I don't know. I'm so confused. I mean, I would assume you're there. There's another person. Hey, other person. What's up? Join the combo. Knock yourself out. Oh. The counter went to 0. I thought you left. I was like, no. No bueno. No bueno indeed. Hey Judy Motto. How you doing? Woo! 3 people! Okay, Carrie. You don't look... You look to be around my age. I would assume. I see a video of you from your page. Let's check out Senor Judy Mato. Oh no, no bueno. Why are we blocked? Yes, thank you for visiting. I guess Judy has private settings. Well, I hope I don't bore you too much, Judy. Well, you definitely don't look your age compared to the picture I've seen. And happy birthday. Woo! Gotta love the Mexicans. Or in this case, Hispanics. Whichever. Sorry, guys. Girl, don't lie. That's all natural. You ain't got a lot to kick it. Just like my name says, Hollywood. But currently I'm in Florida. On a stepping stone through life. So I don't know if it's delayed on the messages for me than it is for you guys. Although I think somebody just left, so yeah. But I guess since I only have one person, oh, I guess it's delayed on YouTube. I was actually in the process of starting a 4th job. I wasn't trying to go into acting. I was into the culinary field. And I actually loved what I did. One of my jobs was... at like a high-end, inexpensive dog food place. I had just started before I moved. I was probably there about a week or 2. And basically what they did is they specialized in homemade dog food with, real ingredients, nothing artificial, nothing fake. And they also specialized in medicinal foods as well. So for diabetic, cancer dogs, overweight dogs, they specialized in it, but they did all their food from scratch. Well, I'm glad you have it, because then that means you're here. The second place I did was on call catering. I actually was working with my I was cooking Hamburger Helper. No, it was nothing name brand. It was all made in house for the dog food, and it was just dog food, no cat food or anything. The second one I was doing on call catering with my cooking instructor, who has been on some TV shows and he's been on the news. He did a cooking class with a church to help people out, to get jobs and everything. And after I was done with the program, he actually kind of hired me on, and he would call me up whenever he needed help for any of his catering gigs, from birthday parties, private events, celebrations, whatever, you name it. He would do it. He even high-end celebrities. God, what's the one black actor? He's got that card company. I can't think of his name at the moment. But he's had him as a client. I loved that one. When I was going through the school program, they had us go to basically like a kitchen for the homeless or the underprivileged people, and we would go in there. We'd make, we'd set out a menu, and there was one time that I remember that I actually really enjoyed. I think I kind of impressed him with it. As we were short a plate, and I think they were vegan or vegetarian, and we were pretty much out of food, and I was like, oh shit. So without even thinking, I just like started grabbing whatever I could and just throwing in the pan, and I had it cooked up and out the window in less than 5 minutes. Nobody else knew what to do. They were just like, oh crap, what do we do? Like, what? Somebody's got to eat, but what do we do? And I didn't think, I just did, and I threw a plate out the window in under 5 minutes. So thankfully somebody got to eat that day. They didn't have to starve. I would love to be taught by Gordon Ramsay. I'm not going to lie. He's a dick on TV, but I think he is a really great person, a great chef, a great instructor. I just think he has his TV personality and then his actual personality. I've seen him on TV with grown adults, and I've seen him on TV with kids. That man's not that vicious. I don't believe he is. He might be, but I don't believe he is, with someone who's truly passionate about what they do. And I was highly passionate about what I did. My third job, which was my first one, I was working at an aquarium. And unfortunately, I wasn't doing any actual real cooking. I was pretty much just serving food, which, I mean, it was okay. I didn't mind it that much, but it was a little annoying that it really wasn't what I wanted to do. But there were a few people there that I actually did like. Unfortunately, none of them were real, because even to this day, we don't talk, don't even acknowledge existences. I mean, I acknowledge their existence when I see them on. However, I don't really say anything to them. I just see that they're there. I kind of want to say something to them, but then at the same time, I feel like it's a waste of time. Oh no, there's been a few times Gordon has really pissed some people off. But then I've seen him actually on TV and on his shows where he will literally just actually stop for a moment and talk to that person and be like, don't give up. Don't doubt yourself. You've got this. Put your feet back on the floor and get going. I am kind of happy in life, Judy. Right now, I just see this as a stepping stone for my life. This isn't going to be a permanent place for me. Not so much place as in where I'm currently at, living wise, but I just mean in life. I don't try to plan too much for the future unless it's something that I really want to do. Like last year, I was planning all year, and even all this year. This year, there's only one Friday the 13th. And since last Friday the 13th last year... Alright, we'll see you soon, Judy. But since last year, I've been waiting for this Friday the 13th to get me a little bit of tattoo therapy. And unfortunately, the only place that I knew of around town that was doing this certain Friday the 13th special, they had shut down their Facebook page, and their number pretty much doesn't work. It goes straight to voicemail. And it's a little too far of a drive for me to just show up. And then I had already had some prior commitments that weren't as old as me doing this, but unfortunately I didn't get to partake and get a little bit of therapy, tattoo therapy, so nobody gets twisted. But yeah, I don't really try to plan too much for the future. I just tend to try to live day by day. Every now and then, I'll try to plan something, but nothing too big. But then after a while, it just kind of fades away and I don't really think about it. And this is really bad lighting, so I do apologize. I see all the dark spots. I'm trying to get better lighting, but I'm working with one light bulb here. It's not that good. Although, give me a second. I'm going to actually switch the light bulb out, and I want to see if it makes a difference. So it might go dark, so bear with me. Ooh, that's hot. I forgot I had the light on for quite a while, so the light bulb's a little hot. Whew. That's not much better. Alright, give me a second. BRB. Ugh. It's not much of a difference. I use the sock. Yeah, I don't think that. I don't know what the deal is with that glass. I don't know how to get rid of it. Let me see something. Whoo. Hey, Paul. Ha 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 ha. Open. I have to visit
Are you doing like porn? You're like.
No, I'm trying to figure this damn thing out.
Oh, are you talking to somebody?
Yeah, Carrie.
Oh. Hi, I just got out of the shower.
It's the ex. What the hello, Chihuahua? Hey, little bean sprout.
The little chichi. The little chichi. The little chichi.
Little hyena.
The chichi girl. The little chichi girl. Say hi, honey. Say hi, honey. You're the good girl. That's the best chichi.
So I gotta see. Where's that?
What?
I think I got rid of that little glass thing.
You did?
I think. No, it's still there. What the hell? I don't know what this little glass thing is.
She looked me in my nose. I got my fucking tooth is killing me, man. I was just talking to Diane, 2 campers, and I was just like, I had to go.
You know Judy Motto?
I've seen the name.
She was on here.
I'm not familiar with the person, but I've seen the name.
Corey had to run a rag through her booty.
I have to have a shower every night. You know that. It might be at 2 in the morning, but I get my shower every night. Fuck that.
So sad.
Hi, Carrie. I can't see. I have to see all your chitter chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring a lamp over here because this is not working.
Professional. Oh, Corey will be so proud. What did you do? Oh.
I don't know. She said the thing left, and
oh, hi, Carrie.
Well, it's back, but the problem is I don't know how it disappeared, but now it's back. What does what mean?
I've never used the app he uses because I go live on my on my laptop. I don't use my phone or a tablet. I don't even own a tablet. I mean, I do have a tablet, but I don't use it.
Well, I'm a cheap bitch.
Hi, Carrie. I
can't get my poodle
heard you got fussed out tonight. I missed it, but I heard that you got fussed out. I'm so sorry you got fussed out.
What's up, you little hyena?
But that's all I have to say about that. But since you're on here, I figured I'd let you know that I'm sorry. Ew, don't lick me in my mouth, you friggin' dumpster face.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to start bringing the lamp over here. I'm plugging it in right here. Because I put my light bulb in, it doesn't do a damn different.
What bulb? What kind of bulb is that? Is that an LED?
Yeah. And her uppers, not just her bottoms.
I ran a rag through all of it. It's all clean.
Every nook and cranny. Did it just freeze? The fuck?
No.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have the money to get mine fixed. And my camera quality is shit.
Yes, you
on
do.
it.
You spent $100 and some on some really stupid shit 2 days ago. What? Right. Where's the curtain at?
Still in the car.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Carrie, you're not an idiot. You have your own opinion, just like the people on her side chat. I don't think they're fucking idiots. I just think they have their opinion based on their agenda. But it's cool. I also heard there's a bounty on my head.
Wait, so the cup's not there anymore? Because when I get on my phone, I still see it.
She said it was there, that it was gone, that it came back.
I'm so confused.
Let me let Diane know that I've got to go. That I was like mid talking to Diane Two Campers and was like,
I'm hoping this week. I'm gonna steal my camera back.
I opted for a hot shower and Orajel. Period.
But I'm hoping this week.
I'm fixing to go to bed in a few. Period. But I'll talk to you soon. Period.
Anywho,
Sorry about that.
I'm hoping to get it done this week since I took on another job. I got my old job back. So I get 1 day off a week. So
No.
I'm hoping.
No. You're an unemployed moocher who kicked the boys out of their room and has the nerve to paint other people's things.
Apparently.
Yeah.
But I got my old job back, so now I got 1 day off a week. So I'm hoping this week I can do something. Mm-hmm. Although I'm still waiting on some minor renovations to be able to completely do everything. But until then, I'm hoping to get a bunch of the other stuff done. I've got a black metal rack shelf. I spray painted it black. That's supposed to go under my TV. So that way I could put all my stuff on it and keep it off the desk.
No.
But last week I had company that was supposed to help me, but instead...
Oh, don't blame... He blames everybody else. It's
but
his own fucking fault.
I had company I was trying to get to help me, but instead they found a way around it, and we ended up hanging out with the boys and spending time with them. They were playing Batman and Robin and circus performers outside.
Yeah.
And we did
you mean my abused and neglected grandkids?
Yes, the ones I kicked out.
Yeah, and the ones that I abuse and neglect. Yes, those are the ones.
But we spent some time with them, and we did some running around. Went to Goodwill to look around. That's where I found that incense burner, that really nice one. Oh, I can't wait to use it. There's an incense in that, by the way. I didn't know that.
Yes, you did, because you said so on the stream.
Oh, I didn't think you heard that part. but I didn't know it when I bought it.
I was sitting here when you said it. I was sitting on the bed when you said it.
I didn't know it when I got it.
Yeah.
Had to go to the store to pick up some stuff, spray paint, the blinds, a curtain rod.
You know, I hope somebody lets the owner of this home know that you are painting their home. Somebody should let the owner of this home know that you have the nerve to paint their home. and mooch off of them and kick the kids out of their room. I really think someone should drop it
What
down.
the hello? What are you doing, you little...
Are you okay?
I just heard a bunch of... I was like, what the hell?
She's drinking your fucking smoothie.
There's nothing in it.
Well, she doesn't know that. She just smells. Here, look him in the face.
Oh, God,
he deserves
no.
it.
I don't want cooter tongue in the mouth. Yeah, apparently. Yeah, the alabaster one. I think it's... She thinks it's alabaster. I say marble.
I thought it was, but I think it's marble. I said I think it's actually marble.
Yeah,
Once
I think
felt
it is, but
yeah.
It's so nice.
And it's kind of heavy, but alabaster is too. It's hard to tell.
Apparently, it's a problem that I paint the room, and it's apparently a problem that I moved in.
All of Lindy's trolls are more concerned about my home than I am. Isn't that nice?
That's an outside problem that people know nothing of.
Yeah.
They just want to start drama.
Trolls.
They don't know me. I don't know them.
Trolls beget trolls, and she's a troll, and she beget trolls.
But like I said, for all the people that want to thumbs up or thumbs down this video, are actually taking the time to watch it long enough to do it, so therefore they're increasing my count. So thank you.
Thank you.
2 thumbs up. Plus one of these. But hey.
Oh yeah. Let me thumb it up. There we go.
Random opinions about myself don't mean nothing to me. You're just an unknown nobody.
Yeah.
So I really don't care. I'm going to live my life the way I see fit. And until you pay my bills, you hold my hand, you give me a shoulder to cry on,
Preach,
you sleep
girl.
in my bed,
Hell yeah.
you give me an ear to talk into,
Praise Jesus.
and you give me a little booty on the side,
Hallelujah.
you don't have any right or reason to comment or judge me on my life choices.
I can't support that one. It was all fucked up.
I get clustered sometimes, so bleh.
Clustered or flustered? Get it together. Get your life. Why
Flustered.
isn't it a sign that Corey's trying to get help with the mortgage payment so that she can keep a roof? Actually, Carrie, we paid cash for this. We don't owe a dime on it. It belongs to me free and clear. The day we paid for it, we paid in full.
There is no payments on this
When I let
abode.
him move in here, it was because I offered it to him because of the situation he was in, which is no one's business. I won't ever put it out there.
I was in a mentally unhealthy situation for
and I thought
2 years.
that I could give him a cheaper way to live with people that he could get along with a little better. And then we realized we don't get along as well as we thought we did. But at least we work on it, whereas the last place did not.
5 demons, an abuser, and a duggart.
Yeah, it's balanced. It really is. It's balanced. And I do run this house. Who runs this house for real, though, yo? Who runs the house?
That little bish.
The dog does not run this house.
That little bish.
Happy wife.
Hey!
Happy. Quit screaming at my motherfucking ear. I swear to God, I'm going to kick you out. You got 2 weeks.
Shit, the dog's about to become a slipper.
I was reaching out to him the day we went for him to buy a car. And I said,
it was a last minute proposition.
Long story short, if you want to move in with us, I have 2 rooms. They're not huge. You're welcome to the biggest room. The boys don't need the big room. And, it's totally your choice, but I want you to know that there are options out there. And that's all it was.
And there is nothing wrong with 2 boys sharing a room, especially as young as them.
They have a bunk bed. That's what they make bunk beds for.
But
kids sharing rooms.
To make this perfectly clear for all the haters, I have no intentions of staying here long enough for those boys to be teenagers to having to still share a room.
No, we won't even be here that long. We're moving. We're going to buy land.
Saucy, come on. You little Hawaii.
It's a damn shame that we even have to,
So, I want to take a vote. Who wants to go through boxes with me? Because I need a new setup.
If I go through boxes with you, we're having a yard sale. You got too much shit. I did not know I was moving a hoarder into this place.
Oh, is that you smacking around?
It's my feet.
Yeah, I've got to find my other coil. Those things are done.
What kind of tank is it?
Oh, you're talking about you talking like you have a coil?
I don't know. What kind of tank is it?
You're not gonna have a coil for this.
I know
one.
I don't have that tank.
It's a smoke tank.
I don't use smoke tanks.
Oh, real quick,
by the way, it's smoke, but
smoke.
No, it's not. S-M-O-K.
S-M-O-K is smoke.
Why don't you go to their website, and when they look at their little ad and they say smoke, I think they would know what to. They know what to call it.
Anywho,
God damn.
since we're on the topic of vaping,
You're fucking annoying, man.
Hang on, Sarah, kind of yeah, those little ones.
Carrie, same thing. She says my kids share a room because they would miss each other if they stayed in separate rooms. See, we did that when we moved in here. We had the little room for Jack, the big room for Aaron. And Jack was like, yeah, that's cool, but I want to sleep with Aaron. And I was like, Aaron, is that okay with you? And he acted all cool about it and was like, yeah, that's okay. But in reality, Aaron didn't want to be alone either.
He just played it off like it was all
yeah,
Jack.
he was like, yeah, I'll do it for Jack. I'm like, yeah, whatever, you punk.
But since we're on the topic, please, this is just a simple question or an askation, whatever you want to call it. Do not allow this BS ban on vaping to pass.
Would you stop? I told you these petitions don't count.
That's not petitions.
What do you want them to do? You want them to
vote?
Vote who?
It don't new.
No.
Anywho,
dying.
I'm standing up for my right to vape.
Yes.
The only people that have died off of street juice.
Street juice.
That were not made properly.
And they put vitamin
by the
E
appropriate
liquid.
people.
You can't put vitamin E liquid in vape juice. What the hell?
That's like all these crack and coke dealers selling the shit on the street, lacing it with baby powder, trying to say it's pure. No.
Yeah,
it's fake. That's how all these people die. Buying these drugs on the street, getting laced with some kinds of bullshit. They end up overdosing and dying because there's fentanyl and some other bullshit. Just like with this vape juice. I buy authentic, handmade, by these people right here that you could probably see. Masker Vapes, their name is attached to their brand.
She missed what you said. He was saying, don't let this vape ban bother you.
Fuck.
What?
I forgot. Brain fart.
It's because that's what you do.
But
you cannot inhale vitamin E. That's what it is. Liquid.
They are dying from
vitamin E gel.
They are dying from fillers.
Fillers
in the juice.
Listen, let me tell you what's
vape
in.
Juice is made of 3 things.
No, 4 depending.
Okay, we'll say 4. 4 depending.
Propylene glycol.
Vegetable glycerin, flavoring, and nicotine.
That is
the only 4 ingredients in vape juice.
I used to try making my own. It didn't taste as good, but it was perfectly fine. And a lot of people make their own. And just so you know,
it is cheaper to sometimes make your own, but it's expensive to start out.
Wait a minute. Propylene glycol is used in children's medicine, liquid medicine, to make it more
tasteful,
palpable. And they also put it in children's asthma inhalers to make it more tolerable so it won't irritate them as bad as if they didn't have it in there. These are things that are in children's medications approved by the FDA. Everything in there except nicotine is approved for kids.
I'm sorry, Carrie. Basically, vape juice is consisted of 4 things.
I'm sorry, Carrie.
Two bases that are healthy to ingest, a flavoring, and nicotine. All of this stuff that you're seeing about these 6 people dying on vape juice is because they're buying it from the street.
Palatable, yes.
Or they're buying it from people who aren't authentic vape juice dealers or sellers from an actual vape shop. All these tobacco shops, corner stores, gas stations, that is not real vape juice.
Yes, it is. Don't tell them that.
Hang on.
That is real vape juice.
Can I finish my statement?
Well, not if you're going to lie to them.
Can I finish my statement?
Okay, finish your fucking lie.
You see this? She just cut me out.
He just told you guys that is not real vape juice.
Let me finish.
Jesus. They can call. I don't give a shit. I got nothing to hide.
No. No minors are ingesting of any vape.
No, there's
anything.
no vaping in my house, and he vapes in his room, but the kids don't come in here.
To me, okay, let me fix my statement. Mm-hmm. Tobacco stores, gas stations, all that BS.
They have low quality.
They are not authentic vape shops due to the fact that they sell tobacco products, whether it's chew, dip, cigarettes, pipes, any of that stuff. A true vape shop will not have any tobacco related products in it.
Okay, now having bashed the vape shops that I mean, bash the stores that carry vape juice and other things as well. Now, let's get down to the nitty gritty. If you take those same vape juices that the vape shops sell and put them in those gas stations, those are still quality juices. They don't lose quality because you sold them in a different venue. William.
But you should be more cautious when you're buying those juices and make sure you do your research.
Right.
Because a lot of times those juices aren't the main, those aren't 4 ingredients.
Right.
Those are 5, 6, 7 ingredient juices. So if you're going to buy from those places, research the brand, research the name.
I don't think it needs to be regulated. I think people need to be careful of what the hell they're buying. And for some reason, vape shops tend to have a higher standard of quality.
There's no regulation. It's not a drug. It's not a narcotic. It's not an addiction per se, as it is a relief. It is a reliever of smoking cigarettes and Black and Milds and anything tobacco products. It is supposed to be a cheaper and more healthier alternative than smoking a cancer stick.
Yes. Now, Carrie, if you go to So Fug It, to my channel, I have a video on there from a few years ago called Vaping in Public. I think that's what it's called. Vaping in Public. Watch it. I explain why my personal experience getting off of cigarettes was so effective with vaping. I explain it. And it makes sense because it's the fucking truth.
But if they want to regulate vape juice, they need to regulate tobacco products. Quite honestly, because vaping has not killed a single person. The street juice has killed 6 people or hospitalized 6 people.
People are cutting it with
authentic vape juice does nothing to the body but help relieve the sensation. It does not do any harm. And even if it does,
you have a delay in yours. Look what she said.
No, I see it. It needs to be regulated.
Yeah, if people can die from it, then it should be regulated. But here's the thing. No one's died from vaping.
They're dying from the street juice. They're not dying from authentic vape dealers, vape sellers, vape businesses.
Yeah, they're not dying from
that. Vape businesses only use 4 ingredients in their vape juice.
That's it.
2 of them that actually make the vape juice, a flavoring and nicotine. That is it.
Yep. And the propylene glycol is often referred to
and
as
you can buy
PG.
all these
See, look at there. And the vegetable glycerin, often referred to as VG. You got PG and VG. These are ingredients in children's medications.
You can buy this stuff at a store. You can buy this stuff at a pharmacy. This is stuff you can buy off the shelf and use it yourself and make it at home.
That's where I got my shit from. And mine was nicotine free when I made it myself because I didn't want to spend the money on the nic and I was coming off of it. But here's the deal. If they're putting propylene glycol in children's asthma inhalers, how is it suddenly dangerous for people that are inhaling vape? How's that? You know, they don't ever want to give you the details. They put the biggest dumbasses out there.
And they spin the story. They what they do is when you see a post, is they'll
Carrie said, "I'm not trying to start anything. No, we just want to make sure people are."
But what happens is in all these news articles you see online or in the newspapers, what they do is they put the worst thing possible as the headline to automatically get your mind to think, okay, this is going to end badly, and then they leave out key points in the story. They don't show facts. They don't show evidence. They don't show proof, which a lot of people today have a problem of doing. They just want to spout what they know instead of showing the proof. Show the evidence. It took, I don't even know how many years for people to realize that cigarettes were bad for you, that they were the number 1 cause of death.
Knew.
But vaping has been around for 20-something years now.
Nope. Just over 15.
Okay, just over 15 to 20. I'm going to say up to 20.
Yeah.
But vaping has been around a very long time. It's only just gotten big here recently because of how good of a fix it is to get people off of the cigarettes, to get them off of that tobacco. Me, I drop my nicotine level. Sometimes I go up, sometimes I go down. For other people, they just vape to vape because they see it as cool, as a fit-in, or as an alternative to actually smoking a hookah, which is the count of, I think, 5 packs of cigarettes for an hour's worth of hookah.
Well, look, she says something here I want to respond to. The point that people need to focus on is this one thing. Why is the government so outraged about vaping? And even if they claimed 5 or 6 have died over the years, It's been recent. Isn't that kind of odd that recently 6 people have died? It's recent. I mean, think about that. First off. Second off, where's their outrage over the hundreds of thousands that have died from cigarettes?
Right. They don't want to ban cigarettes. They don't want to cut them. Feigned outrage. It's the tobacco companies pushing this so they can keep pushing cigarettes on people and keep those medical bills coming and keep the pharmaceutical companies pumping up with the money because people got to pay for their pills.
Right.
They got to pay for their cancer treatments. They got to pay for their hospital stays.
Not just that. There's another thing the pharmaceutical companies is in charge of as well, and that's the nicotine gum and the nicotine patch.
Right.
2 things that do not work, and that Chantix that does not work. So
they don't care about people's health. They care about money. That's it.
The pharmaceutical company is desperate to keep the patch, the gum, and Chantix on the table. They are so pissed off that vaping. Have you noticed, if you think about 10 years ago, the cigarette display area at your local gas station, how big it was huge. And think about how big it is now. It's almost not there. I mean, it's just a tiny little area. It's working, and they can't handle it. It's fucking working. Oh, yeah. People can grow their own shit. When they legalize marijuana here, I'm smoking. I haven't had weed in forever. Ever since I decided to be an adult, it sucks. I don't know what they're saying about cigarettes, but I can tell you vaping is doing its job, which is getting people off the smokes. And it shows in the cigarette displays, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty much what they're trying to say. Cigarettes are healthier than vaping when cigarettes are one of the leading causes of death. Each day, each week, each month, each year. Yeah. Hundreds upon thousands of people are dying every year. I watched 3 people. But
now they're angry about 6 people that died from vitamin E.
I watched 3 people in my life. One of them, I was there for it. Watched them die because of the cause of smoking.
Yeah.
That is one of the biggest problems in this world.
I gotta say goodnight. I have to go. I have to get up in the morning with the boys.
Okay, bye, bish.
Okay. Goodbye, Carrie. It was nice talking to you. It's always good to see you. You're very pleasant and fun and sweet and kind and entertaining, and no one deserves to be shitty to you. And if they are, let me know and I'll fucking put a hit out on them. Love to you. Give me my dog.
Bye,
you ain't stealing my fucking dog.
I don't want that one. She'll fucking tear my shit up. Nope. And that's what vaping does. But anywho, now that she's gone, she brought it out in me. I couldn't help it. Yeah. But see, now I'm torn. Do I fill up my tank, or do I try to find my coil with 46% left? Dilemmas. I think I'm just gonna fill it up and find it another day. Or I might find it later. I think I'm just gonna fill it up for now. And it's getting cold, so I gotta turn this fan off too. Oh, it's cold. See, I don't know which box it's in. In this box. There's my cord. Uno momento, por favor. I'm trying to find my coil. If I icon. But it's not in this box. Son of a bitch. Another trucker. What is this? Nope. It's not in there. Son of a bitch. A denser or trash. But I'm hungry. Give me a minute. I'm coming back. Gonna bring some light. Oh dear shit. Shit ball. Hang on, I'm coming. I'm just doing a little switcheroo. There we go. We have light. We have lots of light. Sorry, I'm getting the munchies. Because I'm hungry. Because I'm fat. Oh shit. Oh, there it is. Found it. Better light. Woohoo! Yeah, I moved my lamp from the desk to over here. Oh, that's a cold, cold water. Oh, and that's a remote. Okay, let's back it up a little bit. Let's put this right here. I had to get some munchies. Oh yeah, it looks way better. It is a tablet, not a phone. My phone is right here. Well, once I get my desk area set up, that's where this is going to be. It's not going to be on my bed anymore. But Corey always bitches. Just ignore her. Food. It's cool. I've tried to become a little good at ignoring Corey. Oh yes, that she is. She is very opinionated. Corey can be very opinionated. But see, I don't think she does it in a negative way. I think she does it in a way to be helpful. Not so much ignore her, but I try to drown her out. But apparently, I'm a very good button pusher. So whenever she starts to get on my nerves, I can just push her buttons and get on her nerves. Tends to work. I don't even try. Good. I'm sorry, but I'm hungry. It says there's only one person watching, so I doubt it. You can't fact check somebody's opinion or thought. Plus, she did that earlier when she was here. If I was manipulating her, I would like to know how I'm doing it, because I don't know. Did somebody say I'm manipulating her? I'm not that kind of person. Oh, okay, I was about to say. There's no manipulation. The only people I manipulate are the people I don't like. Oh, yeah, I guess. I only manipulate people I don't like. Or, for example, I'm not entirely sure you can call this manipulation. But like, if somebody does something for me a bunch of times, and then I try to offer to do something for them, and they keep saying, no, here, just take this, do it, I'll be like, no, you've done this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this for me. Keep your fucking money. Let me do this. You never offered for it. I'm offering to do it. And they keep trying to push it, and I'm just like, no. You give me your money, you're getting it back when I get back, or I'm leaving and it's going to stay in your hand, or on the table, or wherever you put it. I'm not using that money. Hi, person number 2. Communicate. I guess that's the extent of my manipulation that I can think of offhand. Damn, I'm out of water. I mean, not really, but I'm kind of out of water. It's a little frozen. Now, see, I wish I had people like that. But I don't, unfortunately. There is one person in my life who I consider a mom. She can be very forceful when she's able to, send me some money for help, or just because she wants to send me some money. But then I always find a way to repay her. Okay. So I'm going to read this off of my vape bottle. This section right here. I'm going to read it. Contains USP kosher grade vegetable glycerin, pharmaceutical grade VG based nicotine, and natural and artificial flavors. That's it. That's all this contains. And this is made 3 states away from me. 2 to 3 states away from me. Ah, crap, it caught me. Thought that smoke screen was gonna work. It didn't. Let me try something here. Is that a better angle? My camera's like over here, but I'm looking right here. Woo! I just stacked my pillows. Yeah, this lighting is way better. Hang on, I'll show you. Yeah, this can be unplugged. I pretty much flipped the shade upside down and then put it back on. So that way I can get more light out. No worries. Pet your puppy. I'm hoping one day to get another one. Unfortunately, I've lost all my babies, either due to somebody poisoning them and killing them, dying from natural causes, or me having to give them away. That was my lamp that I plugged in. Can't really see it because the light bulb's right there, but I flipped the shade upside down, so that way the light is more direct outside. But no, in the past, let's say 5 years, out of the 4 animals that I've had, 2 of them weren't technically mine. The first one was like a little chihuahua. Cousin brought for his mom. She didn't really care for it. She's like, okay. The dog went to me. The dog was pretty much mine. Yeah. I honestly can't even remember her name, and I feel really bad about that right now. But basically, she was in her kennel one day, and I was sitting on the couch, and I looked into the kitchen where it was, and I could see her really going down. I'd actually noticed something about a couple days before. Keep in mind, she wasn't technically my dog. She just kind of bonded to me over her intended person. But I had noticed for a couple of days that something wasn't right. Something was very wrong. And at the time, I didn't have any money or a mode of transportation to get her help. But that day, I was sitting on the couch and I actually watched her die in her cage, and it just broke me down. When the intended person that she was supposed to be for came out, I was like, you need to go look. I can't do it. I just can't. And she went out there and she looked, and I'm like, just give me a yes or a no. And she told me, and I couldn't hold it together. But I ended up going next door to get the neighbor. And I was like, dude, can you come get her? I don't have it in me. That dog saved me from going crazy from my situation that I was living in. About that time, I had already broken my leg. She wasn't around for long, but she was around long enough for me to have a bond with her. And then sometime after, the intended person for the dog was looking for another dog to get. So I was like, okay, whatever, let's find a dog. So we get on Craigslist and we're looking, and we found one. She was a red-nosed mix. Very beautiful puppy. Very beautiful puppy. And she pretty much was. All of these animals were like an emotional support for me. So we go and get this one, and I kind of pick her out. And so we take her home, and after a couple days, this dog bonds to me over the person who paid for her and wanted to go get her. And they decided, I came up with the name Patches because she had little brown spots, but she was my baby girl. And this dog just bonded to me instantly. I don't know what it was, but I would take her outside. She would listen, she would play with me. I'd get her to sleep with me at night. They try to throw her in the cage, but it's like, dude, just leave her alone. I stay up late anyways because I'm still on West Coast time and this is East Coast time. by the time I'd get ready to go to bed, somebody has to get up and go to work so they can, you know, let her out and put her in the cage. So then that way I'd go to sleep. Or they would just take her from me while I'm sleeping. But I have videos of her. Both dogs had the zoomies. I've got videos of them just running around crazy. And I've got one video in particular with this dog. We had gotten this dog in June, so this was after my broken leg. No, July. I want to say July. And then we had her for a few months before I ended up leaving. But she just took to me, and I had a video of her to where if I'd stop petting her, she'd get really cranky and fussy. So then I'd start petting her, she'd be like, oh. And then I'd stop, and she'd start barking at me. And she would hide her face between my side and the couch. I don't know why, but it was kind of weird. But I think it was comforting for her. But, and that October 21st, I had left. Nobody knew I was leaving. Come to find out, she was given to an old family friend who had informed me, which this quite pisses me off a little bit, had informed me that they were going to keep her as an outside dog. Keep in mind, this is up north where it snows and it gets cold horribly. And for them to tell me that they're going to keep her outside, it infuriated me. You can't keep a dog like that outside. That dog was raised around babies. That dog was raised around children. That dog isn't going to do anything to hurt anybody. If you want a dog just to keep it outside, then you shouldn't have one. So after her, come in, I'm gonna say that following March of the next year, I had gotten Buddy from the neighbor. He had found him at the flea market running around with a busted leash that was tied together. It was pretty much almost completely broken in half. It was just barely holding on. He brought him over for me to watch, and I was like, okay, sure, whatever. Well, by the time he finally came back for the last time, he's like, dude, this dog's bonded to you. You can have him if you want him, because he could see how me and the dog were together, that he could tell that it was meant to be. That dog had become mine the moment he brought him over. So I named him Buddy. He was a terrier mix. I forget the other breed. Well, this particular dog, baby girl, Patches, she was an inside dog. She wasn't an outside dog. The only time she went outside was when we took her out to play or to go to the bathroom. That was it. She was never intended to be an outside dog. She was intended to be an indoor dog. I hate people who have dogs just to leave them outside. It doesn't make any sense to me. A dog or any animal should not be neglected like that. They should be inside with warmth and love. But with Buddy, Buddy had been my lifesaver. He kept me sane. He kept me together. He kept me from all those horrible thoughts and ideas and notions. And he was a good dog. He was a little pain in the ass. There would be times where he would get out and I would catch him before he got too far, and I would just yell his name. Just horribly. I would just yell his name very deep and affirmative. And he would stop and he would just look like that, and he would turn around. Yeah, no, just to backtrack a little bit, I honestly believe that if you want to get an animal like that, like a dog, that's not something you should keep outside. You're denying it something that it doesn't have long in this life to get. Dogs don't live that long, unfortunately. They're one of the best creatures in the world. They're one of the best one of the best supporters. They don't judge. But I think if you're gonna have a dog, it should never be an outside dog. That's just my opinion. Not bashing you if you believe otherwise. But back to Buddy. I would just yell at him, and he would turn around and look at me like, "Oh shit, I'm caught." And I'd yell his name again, and I'd tell him to get his ass inside. And he'd start coming towards me, and the closer he got to me, he would flip his butt around and lower his head like he knew he was going to get it. He knew he was going to get it. So by the time he got to me, I'd smack him on the butt, tell him, "Bad dog, you don't do that." And I would put him back inside, and he would, more than likely, he'd just go inside, or I'd put him in the kennel. But that dog, if you weren't petting him, he would grab your hand with his mouth and put it on him just for you to pet him. And if you stopped, he would do it again. He loved it. He loved cuddle time. Every night he'd cuddle up next to me or at my feet, chest, anywhere. But he saved me through a lot. One thing though that I really, really hated about him was that he had this thing to where he couldn't just go to the bathroom like a normal dog. No. He had to put his butt on a tree, on a wall, on a log, on a bush, put his butt in the air and just poop. He couldn't poop like a normal dog, no. He had to lift his butt up, hike it on a wall or something, and poop. Which comes into this point to where I eventually got him a cage, defecating in the house. And this mofo would put his butt up to the bars, in between the bars. He'd put his butt right in between the bars and take a shit. So I'd wake up and there's a pile of it laying on the floor. I'm like, "You stupid mother." Like, oh my god, dog. There was no way I could keep him from not doing that. He would find a way. But there came a day that I had to move, and unfortunately I didn't know where I was going. Why he did that, I'm not sure. I think that's just something he adapted to and his previous owner, to where he had to poop like that. I don't know. Shit, I wish. He was a pain in the ass. He was a good dog. He listened most times, but it actually got to the point where I had to move. The living situation just became too much. And I was under the impression that I was gonna move in with a coworker of mine at the time, and she actually bailed out on me. She completely ignored me and blew me off the entire time. I had slept in a U-Haul that night with Buddy out in the parking lot of my job. And when the manager came in the morning, I asked him for a phone charger so I could charge my stuff, so I could charge my phone and everything. And by the time it was time for me to start work, I'm sitting outside on a bench after I had put everything I owned into a shed, a storage unit. And I had to take the truck back, and then I went back to work. And by that point, everybody was coming in to open up the store. And I'm just sitting out there, and they're expecting me to come into work, and I'm like, I can't go to work. I've got my dog with me. I'm homeless. I've got nowhere to stay. And I was in a very shitty situation. I didn't know where I was going to go. And I didn't want to subject him to that. I wanted him to be able to have a place to live. I didn't want him to possibly end up on the streets with me. So I actually got a coworker. She told me her sister wanted a dog or whatever. And, I kept telling he's got some issues. You need to let them know. I don't want him to be neglected. I don't want him to be beat on or mistreated. And it came down to it, and her sister was going to come get him. So I had taken him into our break room, kind of snuck him in. And I just kind of sat there when she told me that her sister was coming, and I just kind of broke down. And I didn't want to let him go. I didn't want to part ways with him, and it hurts now talking about it. But I didn't have a choice in the matter. I just didn't want to subject him to that. So I spent my last little few moments with him. And when she finally got there, I was like, here's everything of his. He's a good boy. He's a few years old. Just take care of him. Treat him good. That dog had saved my life more times than I can count. I could have never asked for a better dog. I actually got a couple of picture frames that I put his pictures in. Give me a second, I'll find a picture. Here's one right here. That's my little buddy. Not too long after I'd gotten him. Here he is again. Just chilling, laying on me. But that dog literally, I honestly believe if he never came into my life, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. No, I don't want to temporarily adopt her dogs. They're good dogs, but no. But he had saved my life. I truly believe that if he had never come in the picture, I wouldn't be here still. I'd never gotten that close with an animal before. And even to this moment, I'm still surprised at how close I was able to get to a dog or an animal, to have that bond. But I think about him. I kept his collar that he was found in, and I attached it to a picture frame that I have some pictures of him in. But then, so that's just animal number 3 in the past few years. Last year, I had really wanted to find another animal, but something that I could keep in a cage. Something that didn't need to be running around or be let outside. Yeah, I know. Some animals are very special. But I had actually gotten this one 2 Januaries ago. I was calling around to pet stores. At the time, I was making decent money. And I was trying to find... I do have his pictures printed out. I have them printed out and framed. One of them goes on my desk. The other one gets hung up on the wall. I'll do a video of that when everything's set up. But no, it wasn't a rat. I've had a pet rat. It actually died because apparently before school I didn't check his water, and when I got home from school, he had no water, so I'm assuming he dehydrated. I felt bad for him. No, don't mail me a mouse. It'll die by the time it gets to me. This Florida heat's no joke. But I was calling around trying to find like a ferret or something. And I had called this pet store that just happened to be down the street from me. And, you know, I was asking them, do you have any of these kind of animals or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Any of them. And the first time they were like, no, we don't have anything. And then I called back and they were like, hang on a second, you know, we actually do have something. And I was like, okay, so they give the phone to the manager, and she's like, yeah, I just got this hedgehog in that the owners moved and they couldn't take her with them. And I'll get to the reason behind that in a moment. We got plenty of lizards running around here. If I want one, I'll just get Jack to catch one. He's good at that. But she's like, yeah, I have a hedgehog here that needs rehomed. I'm not trying to sell her. I want to find her a good home. So I was like, okay, yeah. And she's like, when can you come in? I was like, well, I can come in on this day. And she's like, okay, we're closed, but, you know, when you get here, just let me know. And, you know, I'll let you in. And I'll find a picture of her while I'm talking about her. So when I get there on that Sunday, I go in and she pulls her out and I'm like, oh, she's so cute. She's in her little spiky ball. And she was very nervous. She was really cautious. She was skittish. I could tell that her previous owners they hadn't taken very good care of her. If you want to send me an animal, send me a ferret or a Savannah cat. I love Savannah cats. They get huge and they're fucking amazing and they're beautiful. But I don't think Corey would appreciate another animal. But I could tell that she had been neglected. She was very skittish. And she didn't seem right. So I'm holding her and I'm trying to be very cautious with her. And I didn't want to get hurt by her. Oh God, not a snake. We've had plenty of those. I'm good. I don't know, this is telling me about something in frame rate. What does that mean? But I'm trying to keep from dropping her because I don't want to get poked. Where'd the pictures go? I didn't post one. So I take my shirt and I put her in my shirt to hold her so I don't drop her. And she's just kind of laying there chilling. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take her. She needs rehomed. She needs a home that loves her. She's pretty old. And I know I might not have long with her, but I'm gonna make her life the best it could be. You're fine. There's a place of room to throw. I don't know what that means. I was like, I'll take her home, and I'll make the rest of her life as good as I can. So this was a picture of the first time I met her. She was small enough to fit in the palm of my hand. She was fluffy, but she was spiky. So I had taken her back to the house. Told the roommates, here, this is what's going on. Do me a favor, watch her while I'm going to work. I went to pick her up on my lunch, and I had to take her back until I got off. So I left her in a box until I could get some stuff, to put her in something a little better. But eventually, it got to the point to where everywhere I went when I wasn't working, she'd come with me. I would take her to the store. I bought her I bought her a doggy bed, just a small one for like a chihuahua. I bought her a blanket. I bought her a doggy toy, which I still have somewhere, I hope. And I bought her a few other things, but I spoiled the shit out of her. And right here you can see her little toy that I got her. That's her little toy. Here she is on the bed. Here she is right when I put everything in there. And I would take her out to the kitchen where the roommates were, and we just hang out. Got a nice little picture of her just chilling, just sleeping on me. And just had her for a few months, from January to it's like a little pink squeaker toy dog. But I had her from January to May. I want to say May. But I had bonded with her. I'd take her out, I'd put her on my chest laying in bed, and she'd come up here and lay and mess around with this, or lay right here. But I'd actually tucked her into my shirt pocket, and she fits so perfectly. She's all folded up in that one. It's one of my favorite pictures of her. I had actually taken her over to a friend's house so they could see her. And this was in her little travel case with the friend's cat. And the cat was just sniffing around like, what is this? What is this little thing? Just smelling her. And everybody kind of made fun of me because of it. I don't know why. Here she is after bath time. She's all curled up and cold. But May that year, I'd noticed some problems with her. So I took her to the vet after I asked the owner, what's a good vet to take her to. Something affordable. So she told me the vet she takes her, her animals to. Had the cat actually seen what it was, she would have ran for the hills. She would have got pricked by a spike. But I took her to the vet, and unfortunately he told me she had cancer and she had tumors. She had tumors on her jawline, on the upper jawline, one on each side, which had caused her to lose her teeth. By that point, I had noticed her eating habits, and they weren't so good. I was giving her dry food. I eventually had to move on to dry wet, and then eventually move on to all wet food, and I was giving her cat food. It was the best source that I could give her. And I had to give her medicine and everything. From March until May, she had declined badly. Her eating habits got worse. She was defecating in her food and water. Mostly in her food. I left an empty bowl in there. I had a little gerbil bottle for her water. But she was defecating in there, and she was just going downhill. And I would take her into the pet store and see the owner and everything. And give her updates. But it got to the point to where it was becoming too much. There were a couple times where I woke up, where I came home from work, and I thought she was gone. I thought she passed away. Thankfully, she didn't. But it got pretty bad. So I had set up an appointment with the vet to take her in and have it done. So I took her in. I took some of her stuff. I got there. They put us in a room. They told me to let them know when I was ready. So I just sat there and played with her. By that point, she was going to the bathroom a lot. She couldn't hold it anymore. And I sat there. I didn't want to say goodbye. I didn't want to. But eventually I called the nurse in and I said, here, go ahead. Unfortunately, they wouldn't do it there, although I'm kind of glad they didn't. They took her out of the room and came back a few moments later after I had horribly broke down. And they brought her back and they said she had went peaceful. And I just sat there and held her for a little bit. I'm sorry. So they had asked me what I wanted to do. If I just wanted to, for them to dispose of her, or if I wanted to get her back. And I was like, no, I want her back. I'm not leaving. I want my Piper back. That's one thing I forgot to say. I called her Piper from Charmed, the original. Holly Marie Combs played the character. I called her Piper because she was my favorite character of the show. It was one of my favorite shows growing up, but because the character was badass. Didn't take no for an answer, and was a kick-ass person all around. They'd actually clipped some clothes off of her for me, but I told her I wanted her back, so we had it set up for her to be cremated. So when I went and got my Friday the 13th tattoo last year, it was actually this one, Stronger, Kelly Clarkson. It was right after that I got on the phone with them, and I had made an arrangement with them to make payments, because at the time the bills were expensive. Even though I was working 2 jobs 6 days a week, the bills were expensive. But I called them and said, look, I've got the final payment, I want my baby. They're like, okay, come and do it. So I'm gonna grab the stuff actually to show you. Give me a second. I also have to put the food away. Almost broke my table. But when I got there, I sat out there for a little bit, waited. I'm just covering up the name of the company, but they brought this bag out, and inside of this bag was a card. I'm sorry. And in this card is a little heart. And they've got some seeds in it and some of her blood. And it says, plant this heart and wildflowers will grow in remembrance of your beloved pet. And on the back, it just tells you just to remove the heart and plant it. These were the quills that the vet had clipped off for me. And it's a little certificate. It came with this cute little poem. It's called The Rainbow Bridge. Says, just this side of heaven is a place called a rainbow bridge. When an animal dies that has been especially close to someone here, the pet goes to Rainbow Bridge. There are meadows and hills for all of our special friends so they can run and play together. There's plenty of food, water, and sunshine, and our friends are warm and comfortable. All the animals who have been ill and old are restored to health and vigor. Those who were hurt or maimed are made whole and strong again, just as we remember them in our dreams of days and times gone by. The animals are happy and content, except for one small thing. I'm sorry. They each miss someone very special to them who had been left behind. They all run and play together, but the day comes when one suddenly stops and looks into the distance. His bright eyes are intent. His eager body quivers.
Suddenly he begins to run from the group, flying over the green grass, his legs carrying him faster and faster. You have been spotted, and when you and your special friend finally meet, you cling together in joyous reunion, never to be parted again. The happy kisses rain upon your face, your hands again caress the beloved head, and you look once more into the trusting eyes of your pet, so long gone from your life, but never absent from your heart. Then you cross the rainbow bridge. I'm sorry. And then another little thing. It says the gift. Eyes fearful, paws worn, a sorrowful sight. So forlorn, love they said would be the cure for the suffering you had endured. So our family grew that day. We brought you home with us, you'd stay. Slowly, gently, the bond it grew. Faithful, loyal, loving, true. Looking back, it's so unclear how we got by without you here. Trusted companion, devoted friend. You give and give, it never ends. They said you were a gift to you. They said we were a gift to you. But now we know who rescued who. By a J. N. Barrie. And then on the back, it says, the friends leave paw prints on your heart, dear family. In this difficult time of loss and sorrow, we would like to thank you for your trust and the honor of allowing us to care for your beloved Piper. In loving memory of Piper, we have enclosed a lock of quills, a few special poems, and a wildflower heart to plant in her memory. Our deepest condolences. When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Honestly, I think I've maybe read this once. I don't even think I read the whole thing. But I could tell you for certain that's the first time I read that entire poem. And then inside the bag, shit. I've got a tube of quills. I've got another tube, unless this is the one, I can't remember. I think this is the one that I keep. Oh. And right here, they made me paw prints. And they put her name on the back. And then I got this. It's her little urn. It's a nice little boxed urn. It's beautifully crafted. And I'd keep that on my desk with the little thing of quills on top. And I'd have to say, out of those 4 animals, She was the one I was bonded to the most. She kept me sane. I was going through some hard times. Just knowing she was there waiting for me. I knew she didn't have long to live when I got her, especially when I took her to the vet. And they told me about the cancer, but I bonded quickly. And people make fun of me for it. Oh, it's just a hamster, it's just a gerbil, it's just a little rodent. I'm like, no, it's more than that. You don't understand the connection that I had, the bond that I had. The fact that I had something that looked for me every night. Something that expected me. People make fun of me for it. I knew I wasn't gonna have her long. I knew she wasn't gonna last long. She had been neglected. Her previous owners had actually abused her. They overbred her, which caused her to get very sick and skittish. She was never used to human interaction. And it took a long time for me to get her used to me touching her so much. She wasn't used to being interacted with. She wasn't used to a human touching her and playing with her and showing her affection. But out of those four, she was the one. I don't know if it's just because of the connection, the short time frame, maybe because she was an exotic. But she's the one I'd say I'd had the biggest connection with. She was the worst loss, I'd say. Although Buddy was up there. I can't even say she took number one spot. She was tied with Buddy. But, it hurts now talking about it, clearly. But I don't think a lot of people get it. Nobody really gets it, for me anyways. She wasn't around long, but she still had a big impact on me. I just hate that I couldn't help her live longer and actually get to enjoy life and not be mistreated and abused. But I actually want to get a tattoo of hurts talking about it right now. But I want to get a tattoo of her where she's in the pocket sleeve. I've got a double chest piece I want to get, and I want to find a way to get that tattooed over my heart where she was sitting in my pocket. There was actually one time, I think it was in that picture, where I was holding her. She was actually grabbing onto my finger, kind of like hugging it or cuddling. She was a little pain in the ass sometimes. She'd just stab me to stab me. And she'd freak me out. I'd go to pet her and she'd jump, and I'd end up getting poked. But I definitely miss her. Her and Buddy. I think about Buddy a lot. And I hope that he's doing okay and that he's in a good home and he's being loved and cared for and nurtured. I hope he's getting the love he deserves. Even though he's a little shit ant, a little asshole. He pissed me off so much, but I'd still love him. He saved me the most. I would love to get another one. Dog, ferret, hedgehog, whatever. I'd love to have something else. Something I can call mine. Especially right now. Got a whole lot going on and it's not fun. I'm sorry. I'm sniffling a lot. I just don't want to get something that requires me to let it outside or anything. Something that can stay in a cage most times would be ideal. Oh no, she would see paws popping out from under the door. The dogs would be going crazy, and so would the cats. Her animals would be freaking out. But I'd honestly like something that I could at least play with a little bit. Something that I can kind of like cuddle with. I don't really want something super small. Right now, the only babies that I have are my fish. Unfortunately, however, my one baby that made me start the whole fish tank died at the beginning of the year. Was an axolotl. It's like a salamander. It kind of starts off like a tadpole. How like a frog, it turns to a frog. Well, this is the same concept, but it turns into a salamander. But what happens is that it stops before it finishes its transformation. So it kind of looks a little weird, but pretty cool. It's got some like little antennas on the back of its head on both sides, and it's got its legs, and it's got a little tail that kind of looks like a tadpole tail. And that was the reason why I started my aquarium. I'd gotten a few other things too. I did an albino version, and then I did a regular version of each each fish that I put in the tank, with the exception of my current ones, because there really isn't an albino version. But reluctantly enough, she had passed away several months ago. I'd come home from work with my partner at the time, and I had seen she was stuck. So I told him to look. I couldn't do it. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to believe it, honestly. And she had passed away due to a toxin that had been secreted from some feeder fish that I bought for her. I wasn't aware that they pretty much secreted ammonia, which could cause the fish to die from a poison or burn. But she had succumbed to that, and I told him, just do something. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see her or him. I couldn't bear to see it because that was the whole reason I started a fish tank. But right now, I started at a 10-gallon and then I upgraded to a 20-gallon. Right now, I've got about 9 or 10 swordtail fish. Swordtails are horny little bastards. They will continue to keep mating, and it's nonstop. Corey has one of them for the boys. I've got a dojo, which kind of looks like a water snake. It's got little whiskers around its mouth. And I hope my sucker fish is still in there and alive. I haven't seen them since I moved. Been kind of scared to look, although I probably should. But no, just got the 9 swordtails, a dojo, and hopefully my sucker fish, which is the last remaining of the originals that I got when I initially started the fish tank. A few of them had been eaten or died in the process. But yeah. No, I don't even know how any of this started or where I'm going with any of this. Well, I'm sure somebody's going to use these last 30 minutes or so I'm sure somebody's probably going to use this emotional part of me against me, and I've got nothing to be ashamed of. All those haters out there just want to hate on somebody just to hate. But like I said, I do want to get something else. I've actually got a 55-gallon fish tank sitting outside right now. I've been through a lot. But I'll possibly dive into that later. But anyway, I found a 55-gallon fish tank sitting a few houses down one night when I was bringing Corey back to the house. I think we went on a food run. This is before I moved in, about I think 2 weeks before. I'd seen it before. I just instantly hit the brakes. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? Like, oh my god, I've been wanting one. So I'm like, jump out of the car. I put a car in park and I jump out, and I'm like, holy shit. And I'm looking at it. I don't see any kind of cracks or anything. The only thing wrong with it is the top of the tank where the frame goes. Excuse me. That holds the lid. It's got a support bar down the middle of it to keep the tank from bowing out for when it's filled up. So that support bar keeps it in place, keeps the tank from exploding. But that's the only thing wrong with it that I could tell. So, I dumped out the water and loaded it in the car, took it, got Duggart to come out and help me pull it out. And by that point, there was a few spots on the seat. So, and Corey's like, dude, your car's wet. I was like, what the fuck you mean? She's like, you got 2 wet spots. I was like, oh, it's just water. Who cares? So we let it sit up. But eventually, weeks go by and it rains a lot. So I'm like, okay, I'll let the rain show me that the tank is still good. And it actually fills up pretty deep. So I come to the conclusion that when I initially put the tank in the car, that there was some wet spots on the bottom of it that just happened to get into the tank, or maybe some water bounced out. I don't know. But the fact that it rained so much and it filled the tank up as much as it did kind of proved to me that there's nothing wrong with the tank itself. The only thing that I have to do is reseal it, and then I have to buy the new support top. So that way, when I do fill it up, I don't have 400 pounds of water and a shit ton of fish just falling out and fucking everything up. But yeah. The only downside is I haven't ordered the top to the tank, and I haven't found anything to put the tank on, let alone getting a filter for it. I don't have a lid or anything for it. I could probably use the lid from this tank. However, the filter is not going to properly work. I need something bigger. But I have to find some kind of dresser or table or something that I could set this on, and it's going to have to be solid to withstand holding over 400 plus pounds of a fully filled functioning fish tank. I had previously talked with my partner at the time about getting a bigger fish tank. You know, we'd see fish tanks on Facebook, you know, all these people that are doing these big aquariums and nice setups and different styles, and it's like we would talk and be like, one day, you know, he had gotten me into wanting to go bigger, you know, to expand. However, he's no longer in the picture, so kind of hurts. But I've got my fish tank. I just have to get it fixed, so that way I don't have to worry about anything wrong going on once I get it filled up. I just have to make sure I have something strong and sturdy enough to hold it. That's the only downside. Oh, God. I don't necessarily have to buy an expensive table. I can just go to Goodwill or find somebody giving away free shit or whatever. Don't have to pay for it. If I do, I do, but right now, until I can get this mess figured out and controlled, high creeper number 2, or in this case number 1, but until I can get it organized and straightened up, I can't really do much with the big fish tank. It's currently sitting outside until I can do something with it. I'm hoping soon, though. It'd be nice. I'm gonna have to get another black light, though, because right now I've bought a black light to put behind the tank because I've got the original rocks from the first 10-gallon tank that came with like a black light hood, so it'd light up all the rocks at the bottom and look really nice. So I bought a black light to put behind the fish tank, so when I turn it on, it'd make all my fish kind of pop in color, but then it'd kind of light up the rocks. So I'd have to get another black light because that tank is long. Really, really long. It's a 55-gallon after all. But once I can get everything settled and organized, and then I can start getting that fish tank dealt with and get it put together. However, I am going to have to find a place to keep this fish tank that I currently have until I can get the other one completely adapted and set up. Because I'm going to have to let the water sit. Of course, I'm not going to fill it too much, so that way I can take the water from this tank and incorporate into that tank, which shouldn't be too hard. Yeah. Sorry, technical difficulties.
just trying to get out of my current sitting position because it's not feeling so good. But, yeah. I've been sitting Indian style for the past while. Yeah, I've got back problems. Found out a couple years ago while I was doing a job. I went to the chiropractor, and my spine's all fucked up. My lower back, my neck, everything. Doing that job caused me to go to the chiropractor, which I'm kind of glad. It's a back problem. There's nothing hush hush about that. You'll know when I don't want to answer a question. I'll pull a somebody and deflect it and move on to another topic. But yeah. Actually, I don't, because I was wasting my money. Granted, it was cheap, especially since I don't have insurance. And, but it wasn't worth the money. I'd go in for all of 5, maybe 10 minutes. He'd do a couple cracks and twists, and that was it. And it's like, I'm wasting my time and my money coming all the way down here for you to do that when I figure you should be doing more than that. You're fine, Carrie. You'll know when I don't want to answer a question. I've got nothing to hide. Yeah, that's the sad part about society. People spend more time anymore tearing others down instead of helping building them up. Yeah, I'm a little guilty of that sometimes too, I'll admit. But in this day and age that we're in, we as people should be spending a hell of a lot more time building each other up instead of tearing each other down, or falsely tearing each other down, coming up with lies and slander. You shouldn't be slandering somebody's name. You don't even know them. But yet we got people who do it still. For what? What does that do? What does it accomplish? The only thing that does is that it shows that you're a horrible person. And anybody who believes you is just as idiotic. You shouldn't be attacking somebody you don't know, either because they're associated with somebody that you don't like or whatever reason. I try to spend my time to help people. I try to spend my time to understand, to talk to, get to know. I don't want to be a hateful, deceitful person. I don't want to sit behind a computer just bashing people for what? What does that do for me? In the end, that does nothing for me. That doesn't make me a better person. That doesn't help me grow as a person. The only thing that does is just show how horrible of a person I am. There's too much negativity in this world. There's too many people spending more time tearing others down instead of building them up. There's too much of people just being so superficial. That's why I don't really mess with a lot of people, either friendships or relationships, because they're more concerned about looks and aesthetics than they are about the person behind it, the emotions that person has. It shouldn't matter what I look like for you to decide to want to be a friend or be a partner. I've only had it. Honestly, I've only had one real relationship, and that was my last one. The others, it just was. There was one though that I was close with. Unfortunately, he had passed away a few years ago from an overdose. Gay men, yes. Gay men. If you don't look like a jock, then you're not enough. There are some that if you're not fat enough or hairy enough, you're not enough. And most of them, especially around here, they're only interested in hooking up. I'm not. Yeah, the company I had last week was him. He showed me a lot. We've been apart for a few months, going on 3 months. On the 28th, actually. Yeah. I thought women were bad. Cavemen are the worst. If you're not swimsuit ready or big fat and hairy enough, then you're not good enough. And the only time you're good enough is when it's just a one night thing, and I'm not down for that. Yeah, no, it's not ignorant. No, my ex lives a little bit away. He moved and was somebody else. But we still talk. It hurts, but we still talk. I've been in Jacksonville. I moved to Jacksonville. I already said it. Before my 26th birthday. So this will be 5 years this year. But this part of town I've been in for a little over 2 years. 2 years and a couple months. Yeah. Excuse me. Just a shitty situation I was in. Really didn't want to move, but didn't really have a choice. I love California. It's the only place that's ever felt like home. The night I moved to Hollywood, I actually ended up crying because of how much it felt like home.
Whatever personal thing she could have had or may have had, she was able to just kind of set it aside for the sake of what was happening, and I appreciated that. Because honest to God, I mean, other than the fucking side chat, I had no idea what her thing was connected to work because she never been on my view. Why?
Sorry. No, I'm pretty much alone here. I don't really have anybody. My ex was pretty much the only person I had. I talk to a family member or two every now and then. They don't live here. But every now and then I talk. It might be. But yeah, no, I think I'm gonna get off here myself and just relax for the rest of the night and watch another episode or two of Shameless on Netflix. I got pretty excited that new season was put on Netflix, but the only person I ever really had like that was my ex. The only person that ever made me feel like I've been seen and heard. Never judged me for any of the things that I do or like or say. Made me feel comfortable in my own skin. Well, if you like dysfunctionality and craziness, definitely give Shameless a chance. It's a pretty good show. Doing season 10 this year, and I'm waiting on Grey's Anatomy to get let out. I just found out that Harley Marie Combs and Alyssa Milano from Charmed, who are playing sisters in an episode of Grey's Anatomy on this season. As for dating apps, no, there's nothing useful. The only thing that people around here are interested in is sex, and I'm not. He is actually 10 years older than me, FYI. But, yeah. It was nice hanging out with you, Carrie, and Random Creeper. Maybe next time you'll let me know who you are. But thanks for giving this episode another view. Regardless if you liked it or not. If you're not a Random Creeper, then I hope you took something from this, from what you've seen. But okay, people. It's about that time, so y'all get some sleep, relax, and enjoy. I'll probably do this again. Maybe tomorrow. Who knows? I get off at 9:30, so I might start around 10:30. If not, I'll probably do something on Thursdays. That might be. Okay. Yeah. Whoever you are watching, feel free to say something next time. If not, that's fine too. But, okay, people. Good night. Good night, Carrie. Thanks for sticking around.